Alright, let's see this friend request. I haven't really got into the whole friend thing on this game yet, but this Katara Hamimi, of course, has no idea that she's a part of a live stream right now. But I mean, if you're playing online, you have to expect other people are going to see your character name and whatnot. I'll go ahead and accept it. Why not? Maybe we'll become friends, and this will be a funny story that I can tell her or something, or whatever. Alright, so, yeah, I don't think I'm in a safe enough place to start looking at my list again. I gotta get out of here. Get back to the top 10 MMORPG list in a bit. I gotta get to like a safer spot though. I could just Leroy Jenkins it through here and get out much faster, but I don't know. Probably not a good idea. Plus, why would I do that? Like I can get the XP from these guys, and that's more valuable than you know, time in this game anyway. I'm not gonna worry about the non-aggressive mobs though. Alright, I think this is a safe spot. Let's take a look at the list now. Alright, this will finish off the bottom 5 of the top 10 list. So, this is my, if you're just joining us, we got my top 10 MMORPGs. We left off with 7. I'll go through them again very quickly here. 10, Dark Age of Camelot. 9, EverQuest Online Adventures. 8, Furcadia. Don't play it. It's a virus now, I think. 7, True Fantasy Live Online. And 6, Anarchy Online. That game I have a lot of good memories with. It was the first game that I recall playing that had what you've seen in this game is the fate system. It was a little bit different in that because all of the events on that were directed by the game developers. I'm pretty sure first-handedly. Like I think they were actually like logged in as moderators, controlling the aspects of emergent activities in that game. One thing that was cool about that game for me uh, which is also, by the way, the first time I ever used the name Payton in a video game setting, uh, like ubiquitously as like an identity. Um, I kind of ran a kind of like a where I picked a lot of songs that kind of matched like the feel of like being a rebel on like a desert planet, and songs about maybe like being lost in the desert or whatever, or had like that kind of Middle Eastern vibe kind of to them. Um, I'm not joining your free company, dude. Um, and I'd also put stuff on like as kind of like a host, like it wasn't something I did live. Um, I would like pre-record like if you ever played Fallout 3, you got like like Three Dog. It was that kind of thing. But I record like quick little snippets of like so what's going on today, Wastelanders, you know, that kind of thing. And the next song, you know, it'd be like just kind of like this fun little side project I did. And you know, I would document like the emergent activities that took place on the servers and stuff, and it was pretty cool. I had a good time doing that. I guess that was really like my first taste of broadcasting, but that wasn't really real. I mean, that was just kind of like fake pre-recorded stuff. It didn't really feel like radio. And I actually have some experience in radio, and I'll get to that later, because one of my games ties into that in a weird kind of roundabout way, but we'll get to that further up on the list. But yeah, Anarchy Online, it had a lot of problems when it first launched. Most MMORPGs usually do, but this one was really bad. We even started calling it Anarchy Offline, just because that seemed to be like the way it would go. I think that game's still around. I think it's still alive and kicking. I think it's free to play now. I think I remember like they switched it over a couple of years ago. It had randomly generated quests, so it had like pretty endless replayability, and it was one of the few science fiction MMORPGs, and that was really cool. And I kind of liked to pretend I was on Arrakis when I was playing it, just because I'm a big fan of Frank Herbert's Dune. But yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's a good game, Anarchy Online. I had a gun in that game that shot skulls as ammo. Like, it had skull ammo. I mean, they could have put that as a bullet point on the box and people would have bought it. That was just so cool. I kept that gun for a long time, even past its effectiveness. I had a lot of guns that were better, but I kept that one just because it shot skulls out of it. So yeah, that was a good game. I had a lot of fun with that one. That was a game that had player housing. I never really got into player housing in games like this. It usually costs way too much of the in-game currency to keep that kind of thing going, and it just never really seemed worth it to me. I mean, what do I need a house in this game for? I'm an adventurer. I'm not going to be sticking around my house anyway. I can see how it would work for like a guild or something, so you can have like a guild house and have your meetings there and everything. But like in a game like this, I don't. For an individual, like an individual player, you don't need it. I don't think you need it. So because of that duty that I had to play, we'll jump right into the next one. So uh, number 6 was Anarchy Online. And number 5, this one is one that everybody knows, EverQuest. And when I say EverQuest, I don't mean any expansion packs. I mean old school vanilla EverQuest. That game was awesome. The way a lot of people feel about World of Warcraft, like vanilla World of Warcraft, I feel about vanilla EverQuest. I think that I remember I even had to upgrade my computer. I have this distinct memory of going out to GameStop, Babbage's at the time, and getting a new video card just so I could play that game. And we ended up going to Chili's, and I'm sitting there with like this video card on the floor next to my foot, just like, I can't believe this is taking so long at Chili's. I just want to get home. I just want to get home. I want to play EverQuest, because they used to have the monitors set up in the front of Babbage's, and they had this was about the time the 3DO was out, because I always remember seeing like 3DO games and EverQuest like trailers on the monitors out front of Babbage's. So it was a good time. So yeah, number 5, EverQuest. EverQuest Vanilla. All right, so this is that. Speaking of player housing, I just, whenever I get this quest in this game, I just do it to just get it done. This ferry skipper will take me to these tooltips here. Will take me to a residential ward, and I really just kind of have to go through the motions here. It's just to get it off of my quest log. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful place. It would be great to have a house here, but all the time and effort that you put into this, it's not worth it if it's not like part of like a guild function. I think the only way it's worth it is if you're doing it for a guild, and everybody would have to like pay their part. You know what I mean? So I gotta talk to this guy. Okay, I think that's it. I think I can just go back. I really don't care about this. Deliver some goods. If I recall correctly, this is a fetch quest, but they're all like sitting right here anyway. Like, everybody's within like 5 seconds of this stuff. Do I really have to deliver it to them? Alright, so here's all the stuff that everybody wants. Whoops, that one. Are you that lazy? You're standing on the same dock that the delivery was on. It's amazing. NPCs in MMORPGs are like the laziest video game characters of all time. Pretty good Sabatons. But see, as a conjurer, I can't just look at the defense and magic defense rating. I also have to take into it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to wear it anyway because I'm not classed for it. But seeing that high defense rating makes me kind of jealous of my Marauder right now. Alright, quest to go kill some hornets. Sounds awesome. Get my map off the screen. If I've picked up anything good from any mobs. Nope. Kind of thought that my character would start looking kind of different about halfway through the stream, but doesn't appear so. Got an ad here. that help. You get pretty rough out here. I was looking up an episode of Johnny Test yesterday because I had heard all the whip sound effects like that they overuse on the show to designate like movement. It's supposed to give the impression of the animation being more fluid. I couldn't believe it. They had YouTube had an ad for the new Lily Allen song for a video of a kid's show. Alright. I was just thinking about that. Let my mind wander. I used to like Lily Allen, but I don't know. Too poppy and commercial now, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really digging her whole scene anymore. So you never really run out of NG. I mean, I'm sure later on. I haven't got a magic user beyond, well, level 11 in this game yet, but I'm sure eventually you start running out of MP, but I don't really have a lot of abilities yet. Probably unlock one at level 12, so probably soon I'll unlock a new ability. Hopefully it'll be something good. I mean, I could check my menus and see what it's gonna be, but whatever. I'll get whatever I get. It doesn't really matter. You don't get to customize your character so much in modern MMORPGs like you used to be able to. It's all like pre-designated. Like, well, players will get this at level 12, they'll get this at level 16, and they'll get that at level 20. It's a shame, really, because MMORPG characters used to be like kind of an extension of who you were. Like you built these characters, you know, dependent upon what you wanted, like how you felt they should be. And you don't really get that anymore, and it's a shame. Everything's predestined and predetermined. They're little more than time sinks now. It really is a shame. That dude's fishing rod. Alright, I think it's time for another reveal. Oh, this is a good one. Alright, so I'm doing top 10 list, top 10 MMORPGs, in honor of playing Final Fantasy XIV, an MMORPG. So I'm going to read back the ones that I've already listed and then reveal the new one. Number 10, Dark Age of Camelot. Number 9, EverQuest Online Adventures. Number 8, Furcadia. Don't try to play that one now. It might be dangerous. Might have virus, malware, that kind of stuff. Stay away from Furcadia. Number 7, True Fantasy Live Online. Number 6, Anarchy Online. Number 5, Vanilla EverQuest. Number 4, Uru, aka Myst Online. Now, Myst has always been one of my favorite games growing up. I was like the only 11-year-old that dug Myst. I thought it was great. I loved to read, so I loved the idea of a book that literally transported you to another world. And the guy that made it, Rand Miller, I'm going to tell you why Myst Online, or Uru, is one of my favorite MMORPGs, and why it'll always have a significant place in my mind and in my heart. Really, it's that important to me. I'll tell you in a moment after I turn in some of these quests. But yeah, Myst Online, dude. I got a good story that goes with that one. Okay, I picked up something called Raise. Let's see what that does. I have a guess, but let's see. Where is it? Yeah, it's okay. I don't really group with anybody anyway. It raises someone back from the dead. I don't really group with anybody. Okay, so anyway, Uru, aka Myst Online. The dude that made Myst is a dude named Rand Miller, and I believe previously in this very episode, I was talking about my days in radio. We did a show on my local radio station, me and my co-host, and it was largely about movies and video games, just entertainment in general. And I actually managed to get an interview with Rand Miller himself, and he gave me his home phone number, and I called it. It was a call-in show, but this was the interview portion. But I called his home phone number during commercial break, and was like, "Are you ready to do the interview?" And he didn't want the questions beforehand. Everybody wants the questions beforehand. I asked Rand Miller if he wanted the questions beforehand, and he said no. I asked him my questions on air, and it was great. It was a moment I'll never forget. And this was before Uru had come out, so I was asking him about that. I was asking him about the novels he came out with. Just a lot of stuff that he probably didn't get asked a lot. And after the interview was over, he told me he really appreciated my questions. He said he hadn't had an interview like that in a long time, and he really thought it was a great interview, and he was just really pleased with it. And I was over the moon, because this is a game that I've been, I'm talking to the guy that made this game that I've been playing since I was 11 years old. This is one of my favorite games, and it was just such a great moment for me. And 6 months later, I'm playing Uru, and there's this staircase, and it's like me and probably about 5 other guys at the top of the staircase, and there's a gap between the top of the staircase and this other platform. And on this other platform, there was a building with a door, and every day me and like these 5 other guys would climb up to the top of this staircase and look over the chasm and look at this building that had this door in it. And every day we'd climb up, nothing would happen, and we'd climb down. And one day we climbed up, and the door opened, and it was Rand Miller. His avatar came out, and he sat up there and he talked to us, and it was just like the coolest thing, because at that moment, like, I felt like I was part of Rand Miller's fiction. So I came full circle with it, and it was fantastic. So for that reason, Uru, aka Mist Online, is number 4. I could have used that reason to make it number 1, because that's like one heck of a thing to me. I mean, that was like a once in a lifetime moment, and God, it was just awesome. It was awesome. So yeah, number 4, Uru, aka Mist Online. So there you go. That was my my Mist Online story. I love that game. It's a great game too. It felt like Myst, but it was online. There were other people in the world, which is weird because Myst is usually a very solitary experience, but it really worked, and that connection I had to it because of Rand Miller was really something else. Doing these broadcasts actually feels a lot like radio. I know there's a visual component, but it just has the same feeling. You would think with a visual component it would feel like TV, but I really think it feels mostly like radio. So I do feel rather comfortable with this this arrangement, because this all feels like stuff I've done before. Alright, so we're back, what was this, Bent Branch? Time to turn in some of these quests. Alright, well I can't wear those. I love that defense statistic, but I can't even equip those because it's outside of my class. Looks like I'm stuck with these boots. I can't even wear these yet anyway, because they're level 15. Yeah, they're X'd out. Can't wear them. Can't wear them yet, but I'll hang on to them. Where am I? I don't even know where I am. Central Shroud. Okay. Okay, a couple of quests left here. That takes me back to Gridania proper. Where's that? Okay, that's south of me. Alright, gotta go seek out the groundskeeper. The chocobo design in this, I wonder if I can get through here. Yeah. The chocobo design in this is very reminiscent of the chocobo design in Final Fantasy Tactics. Which is cool, because that game kind of really like redesigned a lot of the you know, graphical, you know, the graphical touches inherent to Final Fantasy. It kind of just redefined a lot of that for the better, in my opinion. Final Fantasy Tactics was great. That was a very well-written game. Probably one of the best narratives in video game history, Final Fantasy Tactics. Why are these guys so difficult? This is rough. That guy will just keep on running. Oh, he pulled aggro. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. That's alright. I'm not really in any real danger here. Like, I can take this guy out. I don't need any help. Thanks anyway. Alright, so I gotta put these lilies on top of these barrows where the dead are shambling about in unrest. No? No one's gonna spawn out here to attack me? Now once I cross into this purple ring, yeah, there we go. I didn't even cross into it. It looks like something's already, I've already aggroed something. Oh. Man, these guys are really sapping my health. I gotta be careful. Alright. I'm not sure if I already pulled the aggro from this area or not. Okay, I did. Good. And then one more barrow. If memory serves me correctly, that was the only one that enemies spawn at. Well, I mean, like, spawn upon approach. These guys were already here. And that should do it. Alright, so this looks like a safe place to take a look at the list again. We just, we finished talking about Uru, and that was number 4, so I'll go through the list again real quick, just as a refresher. In case you're just joining us, this is my top 10 MMORPG list. Number 10, Dark Age of Camelot. Number 9, EverQuest Online Adventures. Number 8, Furcadia. Don't try to play that one. I think it contains a virus now. Number 7, True Fantasy Live Online. Number 6, Anarchy Online. Number 5, Vanilla EverQuest. Number 4, Uru, aka Mist Online. Number 3, we had to get to it eventually, World of Warcraft. And when I say World of Warcraft, I mean vanilla World of Warcraft. The original, out-of-the-box, first released World of Warcraft. Say what you will about World of Warcraft now, but back when it came out, after like the first three or four shaky months, World of Warcraft was a great game. I saw vanilla World of Warcraft, and it's just fantastic. What a great game that was. I ran a guild in that game for like 3 years. We were one of the top guilds on my server. Just a really great game, a really good group of people. Man, such great memories too. Burning Crusade was okay. I actually liked Burning Crusade. Cataclysm kind of ruined everything. I'm a nostalgic kind of guy. I mean, I thrive on nostalgia, you know? So, really just to see that facelift, that graphical facelift on World of Warcraft, it was really quite a sad state of affairs, just seeing what became of this thing that I love. It turned into something unfamiliar and ugly. And I get it. That's the point of Cataclysm. I totally get it. But, I mean, you know, keep a server alive. Like, keep a retro server alive for people that just want to play vanilla World of Warcraft. You know, because there's a lot of people out there that do. We all miss it. Like, you can't go into like a World of Warcraft forum where people are talking about World of Warcraft and not see someone talking about how much they miss vanilla WoW. You can't do it. It's ubiquitous. People love the original World of Warcraft. And where do you get your mount now, like at level 20? Getting a mount at level 40 used to be like a badge of honor, you know, like a rite of passage. Now, what does it take to get a mount? Like 3 hours of gameplay? I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. Such a shame. Such a shame what happened to that game. It used to be so good. It used to be so good. But yeah, World of Warcraft. That was number 3. And we'll get to the top 2 later on in the show. If you're just joining us, I'm doing it about every 10-15 minutes, so... Almost done. Probably got about half an hour left planned in the stream, and then I'll call it, but it's been good so far. Oh, I want to go south. It's a cool lightning effect. I remember playing Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 3, when it first came out, and being really impressed with the lightning effects on that game. And I had a really expensive set of clipped speakers, so I had like the bass up, and I used to really tick off my roommates at the time. Every time I played that game, I'd play that game very loudly, so I could be immersed in it, and I'd play like Faith No More and Mr. Bungle very loudly. And I always used to tick off my roommates with the Mr. Bungle song, Manishka Mouse Blaz. He actually knew what it was, like, beforehand too, and I was amazed that someone else knew what that was. Chris. That dude is alright. I know what he's doing now. My other roommate, Ben, was really into Dark Age of Camelot, which is another game that I had on my top 10 list. That's the one I got banned from for role-playing on an RP server in a way that they didn't appreciate. Whatever, their loss. I was making their lore richer, but whatever. Gotta run out of that area of effect, but I don't want to interrupt my spell casting, so it's like... It's this... You gotta push the envelope on that, but you gotta be careful not to push it too much or you'll wind up dead. Like, how far can you push your spell casting before you just have to straight up leave that area of effect? It's a dangerous game. Come on. This class is not made for taking on multiple mobs at one time. I'm glad they broadcast their AoE though, otherwise I'd never get through this stuff. I really hope I don't die on the stream. I actually had that thought before I started, like, I don't want to die on the stream. Unfortunately, since I'm not partied up, I don't have someone pulling aggro off of these guys. So everything's coming right at me. I could party up, but I really prefer to solo PvE. Alright, when I get to a safe spot, I'll reveal the next game on my top 10 list. Vendor trash. Alright, let's take another look at this list here. So I have my top 10 MMORPGs here in honor of me playing Final Fantasy XIV. I've revealed the bottom 8 so far. I'll repeat them quickly, just in case you missed any of them, if you're just joining us. Number 10, Dark Age of Camelot. Number 9, EverQuest Online Adventures. Number 8, Furcadia. Again, don't play it. I believe that it installs a virus on your computer now, and malware. Number 7, True Fantasy Live Online. Number 6, Anarchy Online. Number 5, EverQuest Vanilla. Number 4, Uru, aka Mist Online. Number 3, World of Warcraft Vanilla. And number 2, this one's a bit controversial. Some people may not believe it's an MMORPG, but it does have all the benchmarks. Phantasy Star Online. It's massively multiplayer, it's online, and it's an RPG. When you think about it, it's really just a lobby with instance dungeons. It's 4-player instance dungeons. It's kind of like an MMORPG without all the PvE and instance dungeons only. You can group up. You can there is a multiplayer lobby, so it has the massively multiplayer aspect. There's several servers that you can join. I have great memories with that. I played that first on Dreamcast. It did come out on GameCube eventually, and Xbox. I played it on Dreamcast the most. That was where I really learned it. That's where I fell in love with it. I had, I had it hooked up online, of course. It did have an offline mode, which I still actually play occasionally to this day. But, generally speaking, of course, you'd play it online. It had beautiful graphics for the time. They did come out, I think, in Japan with a Phantasy Star Online 2. They may have released that in the States, but it doesn't matter because my computer is like a joke. I would never be able to play it. It didn't get released on consoles, which is too bad. But yeah, Phantasy Star Online, number... I don't really have a lot of stories to tell with that one. Although I do remember during its heyday, some people would often drop items on the ground for you to pick up. And oftentimes they would drop money, and eventually players started dropping this stuff called black gold. Hackers had infiltrated the code to that game and introduced something called black gold. That was kind of the name for it, and it would corrupt your save if you picked it up. So it got to that point where I wouldn't really trust players in that game, especially the ones that dropped gold. So you had to be very cautious with who you traded with toward like the second half of that game's lifespan. But I had a character named Palinar. That was before I started using Payden as my online handle. But Palinar was a Hue cast with twin sabers, and I got him up to like a level like 120 something. So I played it a lot. I had a good time. Never ran with any guilds or anything like that in that game. Just kind of soloed it. They started releasing DLC for that. Kind of DLC. They were disc unlocks. I remember playing a mission that had City Escape, classic Sonic the Hedgehog soundtrack. Song from the Sonic the Hedgehog soundtrack. Fell in love with that song. That was part of the DLC. Excellent game though. Excellent game. So that was number 2, and we'll talk about number 1 here in a bit. Back to Final Fantasy XIV. Alright, so this is where I get access to the inn and guild leaves, which is kind of a quick way to grind XP. You get an allowance, like a six allowances per day to take on guild leave quests. So you can't really grind them too much, but it helps give you like a quick boost if you're falling like behind your guild mates or whatever, or if you're playing on an alt. Now they accumulate over time too, so you can save up to 100 allowances, but you can only have 16 guild leave quests at a time. That's as much as your journal will hold. But it definitely comes in handy later when you're trying to get Grand Company seals, because you eventually unlock Grand Company guild leaves, and you get seals from that. So that's a good way to get like to grind seals for barding for your chocobo, or Grand Company specific equipment. I think I'd be getting a quest soon that takes me out of this character's starting area. Soon. like within the next few levels, I believe. So I reached like a new plateau in like the quest narrative, so all these new quests are becoming available to me all at once. So I just gotta go around and pick them all up. Telling me to go to Bent Branch. I've been there like a million times. I spent like 2 hours there just on this episode, essentially just coming back and forth between different satellite areas and Bent Branch. Yeah, I'll go check it out. Thanks for telling me about it. Alright, so go down to Bent Branch, take on this introductory leave quest. The first leave quests are usually pretty easy. Every leave quest giver has like an introductory quest, and they're usually pretty easy. They're usually like quests where you have to get like an NPC to follow you from point A to point B, and like an escort mission, or you know, go out and kill a bunch of these guys or a bunch of those guys or something like that. So it's usually not really anything too difficult. Alright, wouldn't you know it, gotta go take out some mobs. Alright, and these have to be initiated. They're not always active. You have to go into your journal and turn them on, so to speak. Looks like I got a main quest here I can turn in real quick. Some nice breeches. Yeah, I'll take those. Stick those old ones in my inventory so I sell them later. Gotta feed the chocobos. And the other one is like way over here, it would seem. Yep. I gotta go with those shoes. I never equipped this headpiece. Whoops. Cool. I kind of dig it. And the new shoes. It's like a totally different look. I got so used to that hat. Alright, so let's take one last look at my top 10 MMORPG lists. In case you haven't heard the list previously up till this point, I'll repeat. Number 10, Dark Age of Camelot. Number 9, EverQuest Online Adventures. Number 8, Furcadia. Don't look that one up. It's possibly dangerous. Might infect your computer with a virus. Number 7, True Fantasy Live Online. Number 6, Anarchy Online. Number 5, EverQuest Vanilla. Number 4, Uru, aka Mist Online. Number 3, World of Warcraft Vanilla. Number 2, Phantasy Star Online. And my number 1 MMORPG of all time, Ultima Online. Ultima Online was a great game. Actually, Lord British is working on a successor to it right now. It's actually in early access. Of course, my computer, like I said, is a piece of crap, so I won't be able to play it. But Ultima Online. Let's talk about Ultima Online. Ultima Online. It's kind of what started this whole thing. It's kind of what really made me fall in love with MMORPGs as a whole. It was really just so open. The world was huge. You could go anywhere and do anything. Even more so than modern MMORPGs today. One of my favorite things to do, and I've never seen this replicated in any MMORPG, or really any other video game to date. You could do it in Morrowind with modding tools, but Morrowind is not an MMORPG, so I don't count it. But one of my favorite things to do in Ultima Online was you could buy blank books. So I used to write short stories in blank books, and I would write like these incredibly detailed and intricate short stories, and just walk around the world and leave these books in places for people to pick up, like maybe some adventurer on like a quest to kill some reanimated skeletons would come across one of my books, and he'd pick it up, and then I'd sign it, like, you know, the mysterious author or something like that. I don't even remember, but I spent a lot of time doing that, and that was how I played the game. That was like the number one thing I did in that game, and to this day I'm still writing. So it could be said that Ultima Online is what started me writing. I kind of fancy myself an author. I mean, I'm not like well known or anything. I hope to be someday, but Ultima Online is, I think that I was thinking about it. I think it's really the first time I ever really like wrote in hopes that people would read what I had to what I was writing, and you know, I'm still writing today, and I think Ultima Online was the genesis of that. So I owe a lot to Ultima Online, and that's why Ultima Online is my number one MMORPG of all time. So that was the list. Top 10 MMORPGs of all time. I'm just going to do a few more quests here, and then we'll call it for the stream. But that's it, man. Ultima Online. What a great game that was, too. I remember I wasn't logged in when Lord British, the unkillable player, died. He was killed one time, and I missed it. I wish I was there. It was a fluke. He normally has like buffs online to keep him like alive, so his character won't die. But he forgot to toggle them on one time, and one player decided to take advantage of that, and they took him out. It's one of these moments, one of these things that you never think is going to happen. Because, you know, playing Ultima Online, you kind of have this vision in your head, like this kind of ballooned fable of like Lord British and his capabilities, and you know, just to see that it's possible to kill Lord British in his own game, that was something unique, and it's really a shame that I missed it, but yeah, I have a profound respect for that dude. He was actually in a documentary where he funded his own journey into space and to the International Space Station. Man on a Mission, I think it was called. It was on Netflix. It might still be on Netflix, but that was a really cool movie. And Lord British just seems like a really cool guy. He started making games with his dad on his old computer, like in the basement, like cliche, you know. But he's one of the most storied and fabled game developers of the silver age of video games, and I don't know, he definitely left his mark on the industry, man. If it wasn't for Ultima Online, we probably wouldn't be playing Final Fantasy XIV today. So hats off to Lord British, and hats off to Ultima Online. Excellent game. Pulling way too many mobs here. Gotta be careful. Not just two. I thought I pulled more than two, but this might be manageable. Just gotta be careful. Gotta watch that hill. I don't want to die on the stream. Come on, cast already. I'm hitting the button. Ugh. I just pulled another aggro. Oh, man. Now I am starting to run out of MP. I might have to just run away. I'm gonna run away. Sometimes you gotta know when to run away. Running away is for people who want to live. Alright, I think that'll do it for the stream. Thanks for watching. See you next Monday. I don't know what game I'm going to be doing yet, but it'll be something great, fun, and hope to see you there next week. Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.